tutorial is brought to you by the Animation West African organization. My name is Emma Luiz, and in this Blender tutorial, I'll be giving you an overview of the Blender sculpting tools. So starting off, we'll need a working object. So we're just gonna add a cube. Then I will pull it up just for my own sake. Then I will subdivide it a bit. Okay, so select the object and go to this panel here and choose sculpt mode. So by that you brought into the sculpting panel, and if you press T you could bring out the tools panel. So the interface of the Blender sculpting is pretty much very easy, and I'll go through it and let you guys see how it works. So starting off, we have the brush preset, or the brush or our brush. So in this, if you click on it, then you get the blob clay strip crease. So these are just brushes which you could use in your sculpting. Let's just give you an example of them. If I choose the nudge and just move around, it does what the nudge does. So you can see in the drawing, which is very well represented. You could also bring out the snake hook and move it around, and it's well represented in the preview. Also, you could scrape and so on. So Blender has also made those brushes which you need or which you use very often to be available to you through shortcuts. So you could some of those brushes include the normal standard brush. What is it? That's the sculpt brush. So you could access this also by pressing X, or you can access the grab brush by pressing G. So you can therefore grab and pull your mesh anywhere you want to, and S for the draw brush, then Shift C for your crease brush. Shift C. Sorry about that. Shift C. Okay. Then if you hold down Shift and left click, then you can smooth out this mesh. It's basically same with ZBrush and most sculpting packages. So that's that for the brush Then of course you have the radius and the strength of the brush. So if you increase the radius of the brush, it does what it says. Your brush becomes bigger, and if you increase the strength, the effect your brush provides becomes more prominent. And auto smooth does what it says. Like, okay. Next, like this pinch function here is not present in all because they use different algorithms and different settings. So you may find it in some and you will not find it in some. So moving on, let's go back to my standard brush. What another option you need to check out is the add and the subtract. In the add, as you can see, you add mesh, you add more details to the model. Subtract, you subtract. Okay. Accumulate, it does the same thing. It says that's that. Or you can access this function of add and subtract by holding down the control key and left clicking. So if this is an add, if you press control, then you could subtract. If it's in subtract, if you press control, then you could add. Yeah, so like this whole sculpting workflow is very fast and intuitive. Going down is the texture panel. So these are just basic stance tools used for sculpting details on your mesh, like skin, like pores of human skin, which I'll quickly show you an example. And to do that, I want to subdivide this mesh a bit. So very soon I'll explain what I added just now. So if I press new in the texture tab, I could go into the texture panel here and choose the kind of texture I want, whether it's be it image or be it a default texture. Okay, so and you could modify this as you do. You can modify other normal textures inside of Blender. So I'm just moving the ramp. Then you can see as I click on it, you start getting those texture effect of the cloud. This is a cloud texture, and you start seeing the effect immediately applied to your mesh. So that's the use of this. And also you have the brush mapping, and this is basically how the brush is being interpreted in the scene. Like if you bring out the stencil, it's more like you could draw based on what you see. So it's drawing what it sees on this picture here. You could use random, which is kind of the default one, and you could use 3D. It gives dimension to the whole sculpt, and area view plane. So it works based on the view plane. It stretches those that are not visible to the camera. So I'll just delete this multi resolution. So that's that for the texture. The stroke, I will explain it better, not now. And then what I want to move down to is the curve panel. So this is also very important too. If I so right now, if I put this back to add, and right now if I draw, subdivide it more. If I draw, the effect is okay, but you could modify how it appears. For example, if I choose this blocky looking one, the way it's been drawn in the model is different, so that's what it does. Like now you get the head is more sharper than this one. This one is a smooth one, and you could modify it to what you want. So yeah, that's it about that. And finally, I want to skip this dying tuple. I don't know how to pronounce that. Okay, I'm going to go to the symmetry. So basically, as you can see, if I draw one part of the same model, you could the other part has been drawn, and you can turn it and put it back off. If I drawn it now, so you can see I can turn this back on, I can turn all on, and it's a riot here. So that's basically about the symmetry lock. You could also lock the axis which is being affected. For example, if I click lock everything, no matter anywhere I click, it's not going to work because the whole axis is locked. If I unlock the Z, everything I sculpt is going up. If I lock the Z and unlock all, everything I sculpt is going everywhere except up. So that's it for that the locking stuff. I'm going to unlock all of them, and so this basically undo and redo. So that's it guys, about the sculpting tool. So then I want to go down to an important part of the sculpting tool that gives Blender sculpting to the power to do very awesome stuff, which is the dino topology. So this is basically adding details where details are needed, and adding lesser details where it's not needed. Okay, so therefore giving you the power to create awesome looking creatures and sculpts. And if you decrease it, you get more detailed mesh. Like because I change it to 2, it's more dense. If I put it to like 30 and click again, it's not dense again. But if you go closer and click on it, it becomes dense. So the more closer you go, the more dense it becomes. So you could just go in and add very small details to your mesh without overloading your computer. That's it. You could also, there are also other options on optimizing it. Right now it's flat shaded. You could enable the smooth shading function and symmetrical. Like if the mesh are not equal, you could click on this to make it symmetrical, like let it be symmetralized. So that's it guys on this tutorial. I hope it was helpful, and yeah, that is it, and thank you for watching it. See you in the next one. Bye bye.